Among today's Oscar nominees, some are celebrating their very first Oscar nods. We've got Julia Cunningham from SiriusXM Radio here to chat all about it. 5 newbies this year.
I know, which I always love that, like getting some fresh blood, especially when you look at some of them where it's like, you know, classic Joe Pesci, like these people that we've known for a long time, and obviously it's been a long time since they've been nominated, so that's exciting for their careers. But I like to have, you know, new blood.
And we get to like live vicariously through them and share in their excitement with them. I know we talked to Cynthia this morning, and I mean, she's 33 years old, nominated for actress in a leading role for Harriet. I mean,
and Best Original Song.
But I would say no one's really surprised here. I mean, she has had such an incredible year, and I feel like she's winning award season.
Yeah, well, she's had an explosive career. I mean, but really got known for us here in the United States for The Color Purple, which she won a Tony for in 2016, and from that, a number of awards where she's close to being an EGOT. Her performance at the Today Show won her a Daytime Emmy. The cast recording won her a Grammy, and she's continued. I've seen her multiple times at the Apollo with Shoshana Bean. I mean, she's become sort of like a regular standard to us in many ways, a New Yorker, even though she's obviously not from the United States. And she took on the role of Harriet Tubman, this amazing woman who weirdly had not been put to film, which is insane. I mean, this woman who led a militia and was this badass, and to us, we saw her as just sort of like this matronly woman. No, she had like a gun in her hands most of the time and was leading packs of people, you know, down south. So this incredible story that it took over 20 years to be made and done, and she leads that movie as Harriet Tubman.
And she sings a little bit in that film.
And she sings as well, as you guys were just talking moments ago, being nominated for Best Original Song as well.
I like watch that footage. I just get chills.
And I went to the SAG Foundation. They did a thing right before just right before the holidays about the foundation raising money, and she performed. And I mean, the room, you could hear a pin drop. I had goosebumps. Her voice, and she just came out and sang it alone. And it shook me to my core. So,
I got to see her perform at the premiere, actually, of Harriet. Yeah, it was bone-chilling.
Yeah, bone-chilling is the best way to describe it.
Absolutely. Now, a newbie to the Oscars, but not a newbie in Hollywood. Antonio Banderas, his first time Oscar nomination.
You know, I didn't even know that Puss in Boots did not get him a nomination for voice acting. Zorro. Oh my gosh. His minor appearance in Madonna's documentary, Truth or Dare.
Listen, it took him almost 6 decades, but he's here.
Madonna was chasing him. Why was he not? I mean, this is an incredible man that many people don't know. You know, started out as a model, was discovered, started doing movies. He fell in love with theater. He was very close with Pedro Almodovar, and they've worked together for a number of years. Had a slight falling out, coming back together to be in this incredible film, which really tells the story of Pedro Almodovar's life. And to have him, first of all, have a full circle moment with Pedro and their long relationship. And he's one of those unsung heroes for the theater, too. When he's not making movies, he's in Spain. He has a theater company there. He's putting on shows. You know, he's one that you root for. And it was surprising to me in a way that we did not have him at this caliber, because I see him as sort of an actor's actor.
Absolutely. He was nominated for a Tony, I believe. So now he's invited to the
learned English by acting. You know, he would memorize his scripts just based on tone, and eventually learned English. You know, he's one I would love to see if this is just opening the path for him to get more prestigious roles.
The best could be yet to come.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know how you get better than Zorro and Spy Kids.
Absolutely. I know. Puss in Boots.
All right, Puss in Boots too. All right, next up we've got Scarlett Johannson, who's not only nominated for 1 award, but 2, and she's a first-time nominee.
I know. You know, we really go back to a number of films, and you think Lost in Translation, right, where she really blew us away at the, of course, direction of Sofia Coppola, who was nominated as Best Director, one of the few women in the category that have been nominated, and since then has just continued to give a great performance after a great performance. This year has been incredible. You know, Avengers Endgame, not getting any love, really. I mean, some technical stuff, but you thought maybe this would be one of those movies that breaks through. No, it's the Joker that steps up with 11 nominations,
At least we'll have Black Widow.
Well, and that's the thing, you know, like her sort of wrapping up her time in that world with Avengers, obviously not going to get her a nomination, but just the beginning of an incredible year and run for movies. Having Jojo Rabbit, where she really is the heart of that film in many ways, grounding her son beyond his ideals of wanting to be a Nazi and best friends with Hitler. You know, she gave such an incredible performance. And then Marriage Story on the complete opposite of that.
Completely different.
It just, you know.
She blew me away.
Blew me away as well, you know.
And I'm not the biggest ScarJo fan.
She's incredible, and Adam Driver, you know, she has undeniable chemistry with him, and Laura Dern, and seeing her in the various roles really made you say, whether or not you're a fan, wow, she really, she puts it. And now seeing the trailer for Black Widow and her leading this action film, you're just like, she kind of can do no wrong, minus some controversial statements she has made and made it wrong. So.
And not to mention the fact that she's also engaged. Like, it is about to be a huge year.
It's going to be a big year.
Yeah, absolutely. At 72 years old, Jonathan Pryce also earned his first Oscar nomination for The Two Popes.
I mean, this is a man that has been, you know, doing Hamlet since he was a teenager, and, you know, a well-regarded Shakespearean actor. Also done a number of credits. When you go to his IMDb, it's just movie after movie after movie after TV after whatever. In the UK, here in the United States, the last time we saw him sort of for recently was opposite Glenn Close and The Wife, but nominated for The Two Popes, his first time, which I absolutely love. He's a Tony Award-winning actor, but seeing him nominated for this, I mean, come on, he's the High Sparrow from Game of Thrones. It's like, it's been rewarding, and I would like to see him in the rounds in his tuxedo.
Making the red carpet entrance and all
also
that.
to show, same to like Antonio Banderas, sometimes it's just the later in life roles that really work and really push you ahead.
Kind of nice to recognize them for their career too in this particular moment.
And the Academy Awards loves doing that. I mean, even like with Martin Scorsese, a lot of people, you know, back and forth on The Irishman, just considering the length. You know, I have friends that have been like, I don't want to be intimidated by the length of that, whatever. You know, he was so disregarded at the early part of his career, and I do feel like the Academy in many ways has been trying to make up for those moments, and I think that happens a lot with some of our older generation actors sometimes when they say, how has Jonathan Pryce not been nominated or in the conversation?
Well, someone who is making her mark, especially with the younger generation, Florence Pugh, also a first-time nominee. At 24 years old, she is nominated for actress in a supporting role for Little Women. I mean, I feel she's everything in this role.
Yeah, she felt like this hidden gem in the UK who sort of first stepped out in around 2014, and since then has trickled into smaller supporting roles and then has had a real force of a year, specifically with Little Women, and you could even say Midsommar, which was, you know, this really drastic, quote, horror film that took place at a cult-like camp in Sweden, done completely in daylight. She's just drenched in light and color in that movie. And, you know, in a supporting ensemble cast with Meryl Streep and Laura Dern and Saoirse Ronan, and for her to stand out is something telling to her acting abilities.
Well, guess this, E.T.'s Lauren Zima actually got to catch up with Florence today to find out how she found out about the exciting news. Take a look.
I don't know if you're already sick of hearing it, but Oscar nominee, how do you feel?
I'll never be sick of hearing it. That's the coolest thing about being nominated, is it's there now for the rest of my life. It's so overwhelming. It hasn't really sunk in. I just keep on talking about it. And I will, at some point this afternoon, just sit and make sure that it has fully resonated. It's crazy. Yeah. It's amazing.
Will that be a moment when you sit alone, or is there anyone special who you just want to soak the moment in with?
I think I'm going to go and see my friends later and have a cheese and meat board and have a bottle of wine and just discuss how nuts this is.
Amazing that she's being recognized for her acting, of course, in her performance, Little Women, but I'm also really excited to see her on the red carpet. You know, because it's just, I mean, we just saw her at the Critics' Choice Awards yesterday, and she's stunning.
Not that she needs no man, but I'm also looking forward to seeing if she makes her red carpet debut at the Oscars with Zach Braff.
I feel like that happened back when Mandy Moore and Zach Braff were dating back in the day.
I love that.
You know? Like, that was
I
like,
want the night to be on
Leo
her.
brought Giselle that one year when he thought he was going to win. You know, sometimes it's like, I'm making my mark and I'm bringing my significant other.
Beyonce's first time at the Oscars, she brought Jay-Z, and this is when they weren't talking about the relationship. Our eyes are peeled, okay? Come February 9th.
We're going to keep our
have
fingers
to be.
crossed.
Someone else we're excited to see on the red carpet, though, Cynthia Revo. I know we just talked about first-time nominee, a double nominee. She is on her way to EGOT glory because, as you mentioned, Julia, she already has the Grammy. She has the Tony. She has a Daytime Emmy. Is Oscar next? Who knows? But despite the accolades, I will say, from Broadway to Hollywood, she is having a breakthrough year, and that's something that's not lost on her, as E.T.'s Kelty Knight found out last night.
I just want to read this fact. You will be the youngest EGOT that has ever existed. That's insane.
Insane and weird and crazy and awesome to be even like thought of that way.
And it's crazy because you've been doing so much work for so many years, and like, how are you still breaking out at this point? Like, how are you an EGOT almost, but like people are like just discovering you too at the same time? It's a cool career.
It's cool because it means I've got room. You know, there's still room to grow and room to do new things and room to try it over and over again. And I like the idea of being a breakout at this point in my career because it means that I can really like just keep going.
Love seeing that from last night's Critics' Choice Awards, and then, you know, hours later she would wake up as an Oscar, I know, right? To 2 Oscar nominations. It's crazy. So now it's time to celebrate, right? It's time to celebrate for the celebrities who learned very early this morning that they were nominated for an Oscar. And you know what you do when you, get nominated? You most of the time take to social media. We've been combing through that all morning long. So let's see what Florence Pugh has posted. Before the moment.
Oh, this is before the exact moment.
This is before the moment,
okay.
The exact moment. There she is,
Wonder
fresh face,
that, guys. Wonder who took that.
Oh!
Okay.
Covering with some avocados there.
She's keeping it real, all right? I love that.
Love the reaction, though.
How about this? Adam Sandler tweeted this. He got some bad news this morning. He was not recognized for Uncut Gems, but he was very happy for Mama, Kathy Bates. Congrats to all my friends who got nominated, especially Mama. I love that he posted this from the Waterboy.
Oh, not only did he post this, but she also posted in reaction to that, saying, "I love you, my Bobby. You was robbed. Mama loves you. I learned a new urban." Oh, I can't finish through. I can't see. A new urban slang word
for you. You
to goat. Oh boy. Oh, how funny.
Wouldn't we love to see a little Adam Sandler, Kathy Bates moment? What if she brought Adam to the Oscars?
If that happened, I will faint because I love a good surprise.
Yeah.
I'm going back to Golden Globes when Bill Hader showed up on the red carpet with Rachel Bilson. And I was shook to my core, and I had to go and just like dig deep into how did they meet? What happened? What was the conversation? I love it when someone brings a good friend. I love that Michelle Williams always brings Busy Phillips as her date. I just think it's fun when you have some like thing unexpected. And Kathy Bates is an Academy Award winner. She won for Misery. This is not her first time at the rodeo.
Yeah.
I think it would be so fun if she brought.
Do it,
and
please.
imagine if from Uncut Gems, the giant, Pokemon style, what was it, the talking Furby? Exactly, as encrusted in diamonds. I would love it.
They did reunite at the National Board of Review, and those photos were so sweet. They would be like the dynamic duo to watch out for.
Yes.
Giving them a run for their money, though, Salma Hayek, who tweeted her congratulations to her former co-star, Antonio Banderas. She says, "After 20 years of knowing you, it's great to see that you're still thriving. Congratulations on your Oscar nomination." Look at that photo.
I love that photo. Frozen in time, both of them.
I love it.
Actually, that's very accurate.
They look exactly.
What fountain are they drinking out of?
It's like reverse. I don't even understand what was happening in those photos.
I want Antonio to grow out.
The hair.
Yeah,
Love
very
it.
sexy.